Just give me a reason to keep my heart beating. Don't worry, it's safe right here in my arms. As the world falls apart around us, all we can do is hold on, hold on.
Hello everyone, this is DT Ninja here to bring you my Ruroken Master of Flame review for this week. This is chapter 2 and 3. I call it chapter 2 and 3, but really we're finishing part 1 and starting part 2. So yeah, there was a lot that happened this week and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So the first thing, last week we left off at where these soldiers have come to the tea house, the brothel where they are staying, where Shishio and Hana are staying. You know, Hanabi has said these are soldiers. These guys are high class soldiers, so they're obviously going to be coming into their place. And we finally learned their name, and now they are called the Shark Troops. The Shark Troops. This is their Japanese name is Wadatsumi Koheidan. Wadatsumi Heidan. Wadatsumi Koheidan. Wadatsumi Koheidan. Now, these Shark Troops are very high class, soldiers, but they're, I don't know, something tells me that these guys are like the victors of the war, of the Bakamatsu restoration, but they didn't do a lot of the important battles because I don't know, just that vibe from them. They're very arrogant. They just because they're the winners, they think they can, show their power. They think they're better than everyone else. That's the vibe I get from them, and that's the vibe I got from the guys last week. And so their leader, Ichigase, is his name. Ichigase Sameo. Ichigase Sameo. Now, he just waltzes into the tea house, and he just basically, Hana, I want to buy you. Your contract. Give me how much it costs. I want you. Basically, that's what he says. And what does she say? She says, I have no interest in the Meiji government whatsoever. So she kind of declines him, but at the same time, this is freedom. For a courtesan, this is like huge. No matter what the person is or what kind of person, in the circumstance, you just go off if someone buys you. You don't really have a choice in the matter. But this is quite interesting because then Shishio just stands. Shishio like stands up. He's like, get out of the way. Like what are you? He's like in the way, and he's like, I'm gonna piss on you. And I thought that was hilarious. And the guy, this is a soldier, and he's like, what did you say? And the guy's thinking in his head. He's already made an assumption about Shishio. He's like, oh, you're a war veteran, huh? You're a war veteran, so you must be a loser. I mean, you're wrapped in bandages. You've been burned. You dare talk to me like that, and I just get that vibe from him, like, oh man, I could just see Shishio light him up. And then we get the psychological warfare from Ichigase, not from Shishio, because I'm pretty sure it'd be obvious what's gonna happen if Shishio drew his blade. But when Ichigase, is thinking in his head, he has the already the mentality of rushing him, drawing his sword, piercing him in the forehead. Now, this is the crazy thing. Right after that, it's like a gauntlet of slices. I mean, like, you see like sword slashes like crisscrossing. Is crazy. Now, this isn't reality, right? This is psychological warfare between Shishio and him. And obviously, it's just Ichigase. Shishio has not responded by thinking about anything. He doesn't really he doesn't buy into the whole, I'm better than you. No, no, this is Makoto Shishio. No, no, that's not gonna work on him. But anyway, right after that, we see he leaves, right? He leaves. He said, 1 week, I'm coming back, and Hana, you're going to be mine. So a week goes by, and Shishio is shown, and he's at a temple, okay? And I don't know if he's reflecting on his life or, his sanity or soul or whatever he's doing. But we see this picture of him, and he is in bones, okay? And he is a manslayer, so it's a past picture of himself. And it shows a picture of, and actually, guys, if you remember the very first page of this story, it shows him in bones, right? This is that photo, but in full. So we see all these bones around him, and right after that, you snap back to reality, and Shishio's thinking, he's reflecting or he's meditating or whatever you want to call it, and he says, "Is it a dream? Is it an illusion? Is it reality?" So like he's already thinking, is this my future? And here's my thinking. This is hell. Okay, this has to be hell because we've seen it in the anime. We've seen it in the previous story where he goes. So this has to be hell, his future. So this is quite interesting how Watsuki showed that, because it shows that he has the ability to predict what could happen if he stays on this path. So I thought that was really interesting. All right, so then Ichigase comes back in 1 week, okay, and obviously Shishio's away from the establishment at that time. He's off on his own. At the temple we see Sojiro a little bit. He's talking about the 10 swords. But before that, we get, Ichigase comes back, and he's looking for Hana. He says, give me the contract. I'm going to buy her today. And, Hanabi is so happy for Hana. She's like, you're finally going to be freed, And I guess Hana believes that it's best for all four of them to go, together. And like I said, Shishio has a different feeling, and his feeling was right, because when he comes, he sees this picture of the battleship, okay? And this is Hoji's work, Hoji's plans or whatever. And some of his soldiers are looking at their plans, and they're like, yeah, that's something we need for our group. We need that. That is something key to our group. Can we take a closer look at that? Can we have a copy of that, And, Hanabi's like, oh, yeah, sure. She's really, always happy-go-lucky and very naive. Well, this is when Hana is talking to, Shishio. She goes off and finds Shishio at this shrine, okay, at the shrine. And we get this conversation, how Shishio remembers this incident, this Maria Luz incident, and it was when something about Peru, and these it was kind of like an emancipation declaration. However, something happened where women as courtesans are treated like they are cows. They're bought like they're cows. They don't even have any rights at all. So something Shishio says about that. I guess he believes that she still has some resentment about that what happened. But then she's like, okay, well, I have to help her. I have to help Hanabi. I have to help Agari and Akari because they have been there for me, so I have to help them. And Shishio's like, no. If you crawl away now, you can survive. But if you keep them with you, you will surely die. Now, this is when he says, this is your weakness, you are weak. Only the strong prevail, he says, this is the absolute law of nature, if you're strong, you live. If you're weak, you die. I love that quote that Shishio says there. And it's great because it shows him talking, and then it shows the sharks, okay, at their tea house, and they are backstabbing Hanabi when she's just blindsided. She's blindsided. She's just, not aware of anything that's going on. And one of the soldiers, stabs her right in the back. So, I mean, it just shows that, she is weak in Shishio's eyes, And then, Hana finds that out and goes back to Shishio afterwards, okay? But before that happens, Sojiro shows up. Sojiro explains how the Ten Swords have been, we've been preparing for war. We've been preparing for this battle. We have plans, and now they're close. They're 30 minutes away. So then Hana rushes back and finds Hanabi has been killed, okay? And she thinks it's suicide. She thinks it's suicide because, courtesans don't live the greatest life, I mean, a very hard life. I mean, she has children, but at the same time, taking her life is not something, not uncommon. It's pretty common, for someone that hated what they had to go through. But anyway, she goes back to Shishio and she asks for his help, and he says, no, you're weak. You're weak. That is your fault. If you're strong, you live. If you're weak, you die. So you can just die on your own. So this is her ultimatum, which is awesome. She says, okay, then have me for one night. Yeah. And then Shishio's like, no. I don't buy women, I get my own women. And then what's great about this is she says, no, not my body, or anything else, but my life. She offers her life to Shishio, and Shishio's like, he's like, this woman has more to her than I thought, And he says, I will gladly, give you that opportunity. And then she's like, please, when the time comes, kill me with elegance, kill me with elegance. And this was awesome because now I know that I was right from the beginning. This is Yumi Kamagata. This is not Hana. This is her courtesan name. I was correct to begin with. Yeah, guys, Yumi Kamagata. I mean, I don't know how I missed it. Courtesans obviously have, another name. But yeah, this is Yumi, and you guys know what happened in the original series when Shishio was fighting Kenshin. She gave her life for Shishio, and that is that moment. She stood by Shishio all that time, and that was her way of showing, her strength to Shishio, that she was worthy of being around him. So yeah, that was her way of surviving. I thought that was amazing. So yeah, that was awesome. I really enjoyed this part of the chapter. I really enjoyed the chapter as a whole. We had some fighting, but at the same time, even though it was psychological, I mean, just the way it was handled. And near the end, we have this this lake, this river that's shown, so we know something's gonna happen on the battleship. I can just tell what's gonna happen, even though I've already read it. I can just tell what's gonna happen. We're gonna have a fight between the sharks and the 10 swords. So next week, prepare for battle between the sharks and the 10 swords. So we're gonna see some awesome action. I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and as always, have a great day.